Yo, back with another one, y'all. We got why it's impossible to cover Travis Kelce. My first reaction of thinking football this year, well, this football season. Kelce, man, still establishing himself as the best tight end in the NFL. Another year back to back at his young age of 34, bro, is still doing it. Thinking football should give us some insight here as to why and how he's still playing at such a high level. I know it's the creativity of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid as well, but other than that, I'm looking forward to see what other insight he gives. So let's check it out.
There's just some connections out there that seem impossible to stop. Playing backyard football at the highest level of the game, the dynamic duo of Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes continues to dominate the league, playing the game one step ahead of everyone else and having a good-ass time while doing it. We've discussed Mahomes on this channel plenty, and don't worry, we'll get to him. But first, let's start it off with the new number one Swiftie. One of the game's most intelligent players, Travis Kelce has mastered the art of the option route, taking Andy Reid's route conversion offense to a whole new level. He's constantly finding the open space to attack, knowing when to improvise to break a perfect defense.
Huh? I didn't realize I did. I didn't think about it.
The option route has been prevalent throughout the NFL for the last decade, and in its purest form, it gives the offensive weapon a choice of directions to break based on the coverage and leverage of the man guarding him.
Option route.
Here, the Chiefs motion Kelce into a stack, and with Josh Metellus following, this shows a pretty clear man coverage. He's got Sky Moore in front to release and clear space, and with 44 staying with outside leverage, this opens up an easy inside break for Kelce, and Mahomes finds him in stride. More motioning for Kelce on this one to reveal the coverage, and with the safeties rotating with such structure, Kelce knows he's likely seeing zone. A quick scan of the line for Kelce reads 3-3 zone, and another choice route allows him to attack wherever the defense is leaving vacant. Knowing MVS will run off the deep third and seeing the safety playing with inside leverage, Kelce quickly cuts to the open flat, offering Mahomes a man before the end takes his legs out. And he's the perfect man to have on the hot route. Kelce shows great vision for the defense, noticing the safety in top lock technique and then spying the linebacker. With the backer blitzing, Kelce knows he's in man, but with a massive cushion. Not even really running a route, just curling into the space for an easy Mahomes completion. One of the beauties of Andy Reid's offense is how seamlessly routes convert based on coverage, and Kelce is the best in the league at doing this. To some extent, every team is doing it, unless you're Matt Canada. But it's a testament to both coaching and
What a dig. Nah, it's funny though, having a player like Kelce like that changes the entire offense because everybody else, they play design is creative. Play design varies on the defense that they're playing. Everything, of course, varies, but Kelce gives you a what would you call it? I want to say X factor, but option X. Let's call it that. You got everything standard, and then there's an option X where you can just create a play in a play because he's creative. He has high IQ, and him and Mahomes have such good chemistry. So like the play is going on is drawn up, but then the improvisation by him, the improvisation by Mahomes. I said that before. Mahomes is probably the best improvisational quarterback in the league, like extending the play, creating something out of nothing. Kelce might be the best improvisational receiver in the league. So, like, not even just tight ends, like that option route is crazy. Like, So I think he may be the best at that.
Talent that the
It's
Chiefs are
arguable,
able
but
to
it's
pull this
possible.
off so well. The Chargers are in quarters coverage, which is a difficult defense to attack unless you give your offensive players options to attack the rules. We've got a full video on quarters, so we won't fully break it down here. But its aim is to play man-match from a cover 4 base look. The Chiefs flood the right side of the field with the 1-4 set and bring Pacheco in from the boundary on the motion, faking the tunnel screen before releasing Kelce and MVS upfield. Kelce reads that no one's bitten on the Mahomes pump fake and quickly identifies the coverage. Knowing Derwin James is watching him from safety, ready to clamp onto him on the deep crosser, Kelce correctly converts his route to a Seattle pattern, hooking up with Mahomes in space for a rifle. And against the Bears here, Kelce shows more elite reading of the defense. The Chiefs have 2 hook routes to try to pull down the lower level and run Kelce in behind on a corner route. But seeing the safety buzz downhill to fill the flat, Kelce reads that the Bears must be in the cover 3, and continuing his corner will get him covered. But thanks to the rules designed by Reed and the talent of these two, Kelce can just hook in the space, sitting his route down in the soft spot, and Mahomes throws heater with touch, allowing him to go up and get it while still protecting him with the early ball. And again, MVS is executing a clear route to run off the coverage, and Kelce will wheel out to attack the same sideline. With the Bears in the cover 3, Kelce will hook himself into the zone gap to create the most amount of distance from any defender, and Mahomes and him are always in sync, letting Travis rumble for 25. For as much smarts as Kelce shows in his reading of coverage, some of these are absolutely not planned.
My God.
And it's just the brilliance of Kelce improvising.
Oh my God.
His ability to know when he can freelance and when it's time to break the rules is downright genius. Here, Kelce hitches up immediately when the Bears defense makes no effort to be physical, and Mahomes simply pitches him the ball to get some yards. And again, against the Jags, if you sit so far off and make no effort to engage, Mahomes and Kelce will play pitch and catch for easy.
One of the few teams who actually take advantage of that. Most teams do not take advantage of defenders playing so far off. A lot of NFL teams don't. DBs will be 8 yards off, 10 yards off, and the team will try to go deep, rather than taking advantage of that soft cushion. But
yards.
I noticed they do a good job of that.
Motioning from right to left against the Broncos, Kelce is going to be running an out route, but will sit down to find an open space. Mahomes spots his favorite man wide open, getting the ball to him to attack the space. And for most, that'd be the end of the play. But Kelce's got a little something extra. Seeing his fellow tight end Noah Gray in his peripheral vision and feeling the defenders collapse down on him, he flicks a lateral to Gray, allowing him to get to the edge and the first down. That's some good shit right there. Of course, none of this can be mentioned without the psychic connection between him and the man under center. Mahomes to Kelce is an all-time classic connection currently playing out in front of our eyes. I get there might be greater stats and more famous iconic pairings, but let's be honest, it's hard to find 2 people who operate with the exact same breed for the game, managing to play backyard football at the damn professional level. Some of the connections these 2 pull off, I don't think we've ever really seen in the NFL. And it might take us a while to find another pair like it. It's sacrilegious in most offenses to work against the grain, calling for receivers to work towards their QB when he's flush from the pocket.
It's kind of tough, that backyard football style. It was even better with Tyreek because he was that same type of player, just a option X type player, has something special about him where not very many teams in the NFL have that or can prepare for it.
But Mahomes and Kelce have the skill set to break this trend, working into the vacated space when defenders flow with Mahomes. Kelce's running the middle hitch in the Chiefs' mesh concept, but with Denver in zone, nothing comes open before Mahomes is forced right. Reading the linebacker level and following Mahomes, Kelce chooses to drift back against the grain, knowing he'll find himself some open grass, and Mahomes shows that ridiculous arm going cross-body while getting taken out. And here's an even more ridiculous version. Running a similar play that we looked at against the Bears earlier, only with the routes swapped, Kelce is running a little outbreaking hook route. The Jags' emerging defense does a good job to stay tight enough to the hooks while maintaining depth to cut off the corner route. So Kelce will once again work back across the grain, knowing where the space is. Mahomes throws this up with all knowledge of where it's heading, throwing with great touch over the incoming rush to find a wide open 87.
Another player who was good at that I remember was Antonio Brown, improvising, bro. While the quarterback getting out the pocket, Ben getting out the pocket, trying to make some plays, trying to extend the play. Antonio Brown was really good at improvising. Another player I've seen a little bit of that, he's pretty good at it, that I could think of is Amon-Ra St. Brown. I know they're not the only ones. I know there's a lot of players who are good at it, but those are some names that came to mind.
Too easy. And this one's just silly. Brian Flores has everyone on the Vikings defense stand up at the line, selling out on what appears to be a cover 0. But it's a disguise, dropping 8 to muddle Mahomes. Mahomes feels the pressure and isn't sure what to make of the defense, but having felt his scramble bring the defenders to him, he throws back crossbody,
That is
just
crazy.
knowing Kelce will be there for him. While Travis might be the master improviser, Mahomes is the one who keeps the beat and sets the tempo. Knowing Kelce will get to his spot and that Andy Reid's bunch design will work, Mahomes can throw an absolutely ridiculous touch ball. Again,
nice.
More hooks and hitches to hold the lower level, with Kelce's assignment being a corner route. But with the safety playing outside leverage, he turns this route into a drift post. Seeing the cut work, Mahomes loops the ball over Tremaine Edwards' head with a gorgeous touch pass. His laser precision makes every part of the field a target from basically anywhere behind the line of scrimmage. More creative play design here to get a one-on-one, with Tony orbit motioning into a 1-4 set. If you want to know more about that, check out our Chiefs video from last year, forcing a one-on-one matchup on the long second down. Mahomes loves his chances, throwing a perfectly placed ball to Justin Ross to get those chains moving. And well, this is just absurd. Kelce's into pass pro this time, and Mahomes is going to be targeting Justin Watson on the over route. The end has pushed Kelce too deep, so there's no space for Mahomes to roll out, but he knows to step up to cause the most problems in the defense. And that time allows Watson to curl his deep over upfield, away from the tight coverage. The pressure is through, and knowing he's going to get hit, Mahomes throws an absolute gem, looping.
What is the name of this chapter of the video? What did he call this one? I don't see it. We at 7:43. Pull up for precise. Just want to see the card. I don't see it. Can't catch Kelce. It was one of them. Is that where we're still at? Because he's talking about Mahomes a little bit more here. Okay, that's all good then.
Throw. Something we've ranted about on this channel before. Get hit, Mahomes throws an absolute gem, looping this over the shoulder 35 yards downfield while getting his head straight taken off. That right there is a one-of-one throw. Something we've ranted about on this channel before is just how good Mahomes is with his legs. And it's not just all behind the line. Dancing and wiggling to extend, although that's spectacular too.
Bro is very
he is
quick.
one of, if not the best scrambling quarterbacks in the league. Now, I know this sounds like hyperbole, but I've said it in the past and I'm sticking to my guns. Almost nobody gets a big shot at him in the open field. And his ability to weave and quick twitch accelerate to make a defender miss is at the very top of his class. Now, there's some scramblers with more speed, more power, and more jukes. But Mahomes' craftiness, timing, and wiggle sets him atop my list. He's so good at attacking through the pocket before he takes off, making sure to keep his eyes up through the chaos, then tucking and running when his number is the one to call. His feel for when to attack and how to hold linebackers is next level. His hesitancy as he reaches the line of scrimmage halts defenders in their path, scared that his arm can attack anywhere, freezing them for a split second, allowing him to extract extra yards and set up blockers on long third down runs. And defenders are rightfully fearful because his dancing behind the line can lead to even bigger plays. The Chargers are in man-to-man, practically triple teaming Kelce to force Mahomes to go elsewhere. So Patrick buys time until he knows he needs to bail, extending left this time, but always with his eyes upfield. Asante Samuel has done a great job clamping with his receiver, but seeing Mahomes start a sprint to the down marker, he breaks it off to stop him. But he's picked the wrong poison with this wizard, as Mahomes throws cross-body back to MVS, fooling Samuel and getting the ball all the way down to the 12. And here it is again against the Jags. The man coverage is smothering, and Mahomes can't see anything developing, so starts to eye the chains, but he's probably broken contain too early, as Oluokun puts on the Jets and has a shot to capture him. However, Mahomes does his usual tomfoolery, sidestepping and uncorking a bomb to Sky Moore. That's another long third down conversion, and the game practically iced. While the pairing remains as dynamic as ever, the offense has looked off at times on the broadcast angle. And some of that is just playing too loose. In particular, Mr. Mahomes. He's taken another step in his ability to just rifle the ball out quickly to expose the backed off defenses. But when he's had time, he's been a bit too careless with his choices of hero balls, testing them when under far too much pressure.
That one
rather
was
than
crazy.
eating the sack or rounding it for the next
He literally
down.
had somebody pulling
Despite
on his
these
ankle,
not
like,
being pretty
wrapped
plays
up.
to look at, it's most likely a case of early season testing and seeing what exactly he can get away with. This will need to tighten up as the season goes on, though. Some have claimed the Chiefs' offense hasn't looked as good this season. And yeah, there have been some ugly mistakes, but snap to snap on tape, they're just as potent as ever. As long as the Mahomes to Kelce connection continues, creativity is endless, and the Chiefs team remains the biggest threat come January.
Good vid. Shout out to Thinking Football, man. Good vid. What would I rank Pat Mahomes all time? Quarterbacks all time? He'd probably be top 10. Like, as far as talent, it'd be top 10.